Hey guys, welcome back to Papaws Kitchen. Getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow, so I'm making some cornbread dressing and some giblet gravy. So it's pretty simple. I've used packages of cornbread mix, so that makes it pretty easy. I've used 2 of those. That should be enough for lunch tomorrow. And I've already got the cornbread in the oven. So once that comes out, we'll start mixing all of our ingredients in there. I'll let it cool down a little bit first. Then we'll start mixing our ingredients, get it all ready for tomorrow. I just boiled, actually boiled a dozen eggs. So I'm going to have some of those for the dressing. And any that I have left over, I may make some deviled eggs. So who knows? We'll see how things go. But see you back in a minute once the cornbread's done. Okay? Okay guys, let's make some cornbread dressing here. I like to start with this yellow cornbread mix. These things are only about $1, so it makes it real easy and inexpensive. So to do this recipe, we're going to use 2 packages, and here we go. So on the package, in order to make the cornbread, what it tells you is to use 2/3 cup for each package. So we have 2, so we put 2/3 cup for each of those packages, and 1 egg per package. So we're going to do with 2 eggs, and then I'm going to, with my wire whip, I'm going to mix that up, and I've got the oven turned on and heating up, but they also suggest that you preheat your pan, and I make my cornbread in this aluminum frying pan. So spray some Pam on there, and I'll put it in the oven while the oven is heating up. So that'll take a few minutes. So this mix is pretty well mixed up here. So we'll give the cornbread, we'll give the frying pan time to heat up, and then we'll put this in there. We're going to cook that on 350 degrees for 30 minutes. One tip on your cornbread mix: they make one that has sugar in it. I did that by mistake and got the wrong ones. I'm having to redo this over again, but it's just not the same. So I recommend that you make sure that you get like the original mix without the sugar. Okay, pan is hot, so we're going to pour the mix into that hot pan, and we'll take a little break while this is cooking, and then we will start to add our spices and boiled eggs to it. So we're going to put this in the oven now, and should be ready in about 30 minutes. Okay, we're going to get this cornbread out of this pan, let it excuse me, cool a bit before we begin to put everything in it. So so I've got this big yellow bowl here that I always use to mix everything, because everything will go in there. So put the cornbread in there, and that'll cool down a bit, and then we'll start adding the ingredients. I'll read off the ingredients as I get them ready to put in there. So be back on that after that cools a bit. Okay, I think this is cool enough to to break it up, and yeah, the consistency is much better than the other one. I'm going to break that up. I'll leave some clumps on the back part for the dressing, but I'll crumble this stuff up, and then first thing I'll do is add some broth and let it soak up. I'll probably use 2 cans of the broth to start with. I'll start with 1 can of broth, and I'll mix it all up good. Okay, rinse my hands off here. Okay, and then our dry ingredients here. The recipe calls for chopped celery and onions, which would be sauteed. I'll have the recipe on the bottom of this thing, but this recipe, 1.5 pounds of the celery and 1 pound of the onion. So because I don't have either of those, I thought I had some celery flakes, but I didn't, so it's okay without it. Then ground pepper, black pepper, a tablespoon of poultry seasoning, a 1/2 teaspoon of sage, a tablespoon of onion powder. I probably will not put any salt in here because the broth is salty, so, but yeah, I'll taste it. And then we're going to put eggs in here. I don't know if it calls for 4. I don't know if I did, yeah, I did 4. And that makes quite a bit of thing. But anyway, I'm going to put all of those dry ingredients in here. And then we're going to mix it again, get all that stuff mixed up. You see how that tastes. I'll need to add something. I'll go ahead and put the eggs in here and mix it all up again. Some recipes call for adding bread to this mix. I don't do that, so. Okay, I'm going to put another can of the broth in here, and then I'll start messing with the dry ingredients a bit to make sure that I've gotten the right taste. And then we'll put this in a casserole dish and have it ready for tomorrow. And then I'll go ahead and make some giblet gravy, and that is just so easy, it's ridiculous. So, but we'll get back to that in just a little bit. Okay, I usually don't do this, but every recipe I saw talks about adding butter to the dressing, so it can't hurt. I mean, more butter the better. So I'm going to put 4 ounces of butter and mix this up again, taste it again. It tasted pretty good. I actually think the recipe called for 8 ounces of butter, but I'm not going to put that much since I don't usually put any in anyway. So I'm not going to do that. And I've had my chicken livers going. That is still missing something. It's good, but it's still missing something, so I'm going to play around with it a little bit. I finished cooking the livers. And you can use chicken broth. This is for giblet gravy. You can chicken broth and slices of small pieces of chicken. However, we always had liver in ours. So a package of liver that you have to buy is huge. So I'll save those, eat them separately. But I'm going to chop those up, and this will be my giblet gravy. So actually the broth that I made while cooking those will be my base. But if I need to, I'll add some more chicken broth, and it will do. Giblet gravy, it is just unbelievable. It's so easy because all you got is your broth, eggs, and I usually add a little milk to it, and some cornstarch to thicken it up a bit. That's all there is to it, but we'll come back to that whenever I have chopped up these livers. So. Well, and I'll play around with the dressing and see if there's anything I need to add, but still pretty good just like it is. So, be back on that later. Okay, I added the chicken livers and the eggs that I had chopped up, and then and I added another can of the broth and about a cup of milk. So I'm going to get this hot, and then I'll put some cornstarch in it, thicken it up, and it'll be done. I never really know how much cornstarch, so I just mix some up with a little cold water, dissolve it in there, and then whenever this gets a little warmer here, I will put this in there and see if that thickens it up enough, and we'll see. After I get this done, I will clean up my mess and then I will do a black bottom pie. So I'll put that on a different video, but it's kind of complicated to do, so it takes some time. But found out that our dinner tomorrow is going to be at 5, so I've got plenty of time to make adjustments if I need to. So okay, I'm going to put the dressing in this nice container here. And then I will, since everything is already cooked, I will just heat it up tomorrow before I go over to Ron's house. He and I may be the only ones who eat any of it, but it's good. Allison's family is a stuffing thing. They're New Englanders, so they're into stuffing. But anyway, it makes a nice presentation. Get it heated, brown just a little bit, and we'll be ready to go. The giblet gravy, I need to thicken it a little bit more, but it tastes really good, so that'll go good with this. And I'll be back on another video doing my black bottom pie.